And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Guys, we've got some video footage as Nigel Farage has come out and torched the government following the aftermath and the scenes that we've seen from the government officials and of course these pro-Hamas mobs celebrating the death of Jews in our streets in our major towns and cities. We're also going to be listening to a video of Tommy Robinson as well. So Nigel Farage first, then Tommy Robinson. But please, before we do get into the video, guys, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. We are making a push towards 300,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So those of you that haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do and join the community. Let's have a listen of Nigel Farage as he torches the government following the aftermath of this terror attack.
The scenes of Jewish people being butchered on the streets of Manchester yesterday, I think, have shocked many of us deeply, deeply to the core. And I want to extend, on behalf of myself and our party, our absolutely most sincere condolences to all of those affected. But it's worse than that. It's bigger than that. It's deeper than that. I think the whole Jewish community in Britain are now deeply fearful. Within just a few hours of this horrific incident, we saw in London, Glasgow and elsewhere, pro-Palestinian flags on the streets, people out, previously unplanned, demonstrating. But here's the truth of it. They weren't demonstrating. They were actually celebrating. I can't even imagine we've ever seen such vile scenes on our streets, certainly not in my lifetime. In response to this, the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, says she's disappointed. Disappointed. That's the most the Home Secretary can say. Well, I hope all of you watching this video are outraged. Outraged and frankly frightened. This is broken Britain. This is evidence of societal breakdown. It is deeply worrying and very frightening. Will this Prime Minister do anything about it? No, in fact, he's emboldened these people by his recognition of Palestine 2 weeks ago. And never forget, this is the Prime Minister that took the knee just a few short years ago to an extremist group. Now, there is a big, big march planned in London this Saturday. And I think the only way we can describe it is a hate march. Whether the Home Secretary and the police decide they've got the powers to stop it, I don't know. What is for certain is we're a country that allows peaceful protest, but we're not a country that allows the celebration of murder or slogans in our street that are deeply, deeply insightful. I must admit, saying this now to you today, I feel more worried about the state of broken Britain than I ever have before.
Well, at least somebody in the establishment is calling it out for what it is. Nigel Farage, of course, echoing many thoughts what we all have following the aftermath of this. And he is absolutely correct. They are complicit in this because they've allowed these hate marches to take precedent in our streets and take a place without condemnation. Just look at Sadiq Khan's reaction. Just look at Sadiq Khan's reaction after yesterday. 40 arrests, 6 of those being assaults on Metropolitan Police officers in London. After the United Kingdom rally, we didn't hear the end of it from Sadiq Khan and still nothing from that absolute charlatan. Let's get into what Tommy Robinson has had to say. Of course, Tommy is, of course, going to be very passionate on it, and I haven't actually yet watched it, so I'm going to watch it live with you now. And yeah, let's see what Tommy Robinson has said in the aftermath of this as well.
As I'm just emerging from my man flu for the week, it's insane. It's really insane to see all the people who shut down any criticism of Islam. They literally beat everyone with their accusations of racist, extremist, far-right, fascist. They literally shut down any criticism of the ideology that has inspired the attack on a synagogue yesterday. And now they're all screaming about it. It's like, hold on a minute. You lot are the reason that ideology has been able to grow so powerful in our country. You're the fucking reason. You shut down debate. You politicians, you journalists, you commentators, every one of you. You made it impossible. Impossible to have a discussion about that idea, that mindset, that terrorist group, any of it. You made it impossible. And now you have the police. You literally have Muslims walking down the street calling for the beheading of Jews. And the police, you nicked me. You nicked me 2 months ago. You questioned me, and under caution, you arrested me for a fuck Hamas tweet. Yet you're letting the Muslims walk down the street calling for the beheading of Jews in our country. And then you're all surprised. We're going to step up patrols around around synagogues. We're going to step up patrols. How about you don't step up patrols? How about you dealt with this for the last decade? How about every time someone calls for jihad on our streets, you nick them? How about when they fly a jihadi flag or a terrorist symbol, you arrest them? How about the hate preachers in the mosque who have been calling for the murder of Jews for the last year, quite openly, in mosques across our country? How about you prosecuted them? Instead of prosecuting someone for saying about transgenderism, someone who's not a risk, someone who's not a danger. How about you actually just dealt with the problem? The problem has got so big, so bad now. You can't deal with it. You're scared to deal with it because there's so many of them. And then the same people that have facilitated it, the Dan Hodges of this world, the journalists of this world, who have shut down Brendan Cox, you womanizer. Keep your hands to yourself, Brendan. But people like Brendan Cox, who absolutely, diversity is our strength. You're a fascist, you're an extremist, you're a racist. Diversity is our power. We love standing having your photo taken with Islamists and Muslims, the same Muslims that are now calling for the total destruction of every Jew in the world. Where are your mates now? Border deputies, where are your friends that you stood with against us? For the last 15 years, you stood with the enemy against us. And we called out that enemy. And we've been proven right about that enemy time and time again. You have betrayed your own community, your own people. The reason why Jews are so vulnerable is because of you. Your failures, your weakness, your cowardice, not ours. We've been the same since day one. You tried to turn the Jewish community against us. You've tried to turn everyone against us. We were the only sane voice the whole way through all of this, was us. And we still stand there now against all your smears, against all your attacks, against all your prosecutions. Whilst at the same time, while they try and imprison us and beat us, you still use your platforms to try and tread on us, to try and beat us, whilst amplifying so-called moderates who are walking along from the river to the sea. You clowns. Know your enemy. Identify your enemy. Tell the truth about your enemy. Don't make excuses for them. Don't shut down debate, exposing them, which is what you've done. There's my little rant for the morning. Probably because I ain't had my breakfast. But I get so wound up as I look at all these commentators, all these politicians putting out there, oh, we stand with the Jewish community. Fuck off. No, you don't. No, you don't. Not at all. You are the reason this is happening. All of you. Your appeasement, recognising the state of Israel. So you recognise, you give authority to the Palestinian Authority. Yeah? You recognise the leader of the Palestinian Authority. The Palestinian Authority pay Muslims to go and commit attacks against Jews. You just get recognised their state. What, 10 miles from Tel Aviv? Is it a mile from Jerusalem? What the fuck? And then you sit there and say, yeah, we stand with the Jewish community. We're against all this. No, you've emboldened them. You've empowered them. You cowards. Have a good day. To everyone in Britain, stay safe because the country's full of jihadists and scumbags.
Powerful, powerful stuff there from Tommy and Nigel as well. But yeah, he makes a very good point because I've seen it. That meme that he's talking about, he's not over-exaggerating about the meme that he got arrested for. In fact, there was a few individuals that got arrested for posting this sort of meme that said sort of fuck Hamas and fuck Palestine on their social media. Sorry, the place I'm staying at, someone started to hoover. Apologies if you can hear some background noise there. But we've seen it, literally. We've seen it in real time, them arresting and dealing with these people. Okay. Can you guys hear that? That's loud for me. But apologies. I don't know who that is. It's someone outside the door, literally, with a hoover. But yeah, we've seen the establishment deal with those individuals in that way, arresting people being on a different side of the political spectrum. We've, of course, seen the Father Ted director and owner, then actually, of course, who wrote Father Ted, get arrested for talking about transgenderism. But when you have individuals spreading hatred and saying beheading Jews, killing Jews on the streets, they don't do anything about it. In fact, they declare them as sort of moderate protesters, but they're violent. And it's something, as I keep on saying time and time again, it is a form of terrorism that the establishment is constantly ignoring, and this needs to stop. It's pandering towards one religion. It's also pandering to one political spectrum, one side of the political spectrum as well. And this is what you get when you pander towards it and, of course, ignore it for so long. Guys, I'm going to go into the live chat. Do let me know your thoughts on Tommy's and Nigel's words with regard to the aftermath of the Manchester terror attack. My goodness me. Debbie James might just be the most generous person I have seen on these live chats. I think she's given away, maybe now, I think 30 British Stand gift memberships to everybody. She's just sent another 5 now. I think she did 10 yesterday. So big shout out to Debbie James there, by the way. Real big shout out to you. Thank you for supporting and thank you for helping everybody out in the live chat. Big shout out to Christy, who's become a British Patriot as well. Big shout out to everyone who supports this channel. And yeah, thank you, Debbie and Christy. Thank you for your support. It doesn't go unnoticed. Zach says, give British Stand a like, people. Yes, come on, guys. Let's hit the like button. We're trying to get to 300,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We can only do that with your help, and it's completely free. So if you haven't already subscribed, then make sure you do. Let's have a little look at what people are saying with regard to this. Why is nobody asking questions about Euston Station? Well, simply yesterday we spoke about Euston Station and the emergency evacuation. Now, with these things can happen, right? You can get evacuations that can be hoaxed or they can be a real threat. The police presence was there and they deemed it as not a threat. So again, that's probably why it's not been spoken about. They obviously did their job and checked it out and it wasn't a problem, so allowed normal service to sort of resume. But it is frightening when these things happen, but they do happen quite a lot. We reported on quite a few suspicious packages found outside embassies, airports and train stations just over the last year of doing this channel, so they're not always sort of imminent threats, but certainly are frightening. Cell Signal says Christian preachers are being given community protection orders banning them from preaching in the streets, whereas these radical Islamists are allowed to spread literal hate with no consequences. This is facts. I literally seen this. This is a young guy in Guildford, actually. That's a preacher. Surrey, for those of you that don't know Guildford, but Surrey. I keep seeing his reels pop up on my Instagram feed, and he's a preacher. You know, he preaches the sort of gospel of God and whatnot. And whether you agree with that or not, that's up for you. But you know, we have these Islamist preachers on the streets and they're using their freedom of speech to, sometimes we've seen sort of Sharia laws and sort of jihadi recruitments on British streets in years gone by, in yesteryears, and nothing's been done about this. But when a preacher is literally using his right to freedom of expression to speak about God and Christian values in a Christian country, then he gets arrested, or he's not allowed to preach in certain areas because people find it offensive. But it's just clear to see that there's only one religion that is protected in the United Kingdom, and it's simply Islam. We have the former Deputy Prime Minister bringing in as Islamophobia laws to stop people from sort of criticizing a religion, but those same rules aren't there to protect Jews, Christianity, which, bearing in mind the UK as a Christian nation was built on Christian values and traditions. But only one religion gets the protection from the establishment and the police through laws. Everyone is tiptoeing around it. It's because, you know, the infiltration has already happened and we're seeing it in real time where people are getting into positions of power. And we will see in the not so long distance future what will happen to the nation. 4 more years of Starmer. God help us. Yep, he ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Ted69 says, please all check your phones. A government ID app has appeared on my phone. I've deleted it. Really? To be fair, I'm in Paris as we speak right now. So I'm not in the UK as we speak. No, I haven't got anything from the government ID on my phone. Yeah, maybe it's just coming through. I haven't got anything from the government ID, but again, I'm in Paris at the moment, so that's probably why. And by the way, just to give you guys a formal warning, been in Paris now for like 2 weeks, and yeah, Paris is a lot ahead of where we are right now. Paris and France actually are a lot further up the stream than we are. I'm probably living 5 years in the future as to where the UK will be probably in 5 years, and it's not looking good. Let's put it that. It's a case study, and France is already kind of lost its battle. Let's so to speak. So yeah, I'm probably living 5 years in the future right now as I'm in Paris visiting. It's not cool. There's only one district that I would recommend going to. That's probably the 6th in Paris. It's quite nice, quite bougie, but the remainder of it's an absolute shit pit. It really is. Thought the plastering looked rough. Yeah, I know. HZZ says apparently it's on Android. Okay, I've not got an Android. I've got an iPhone, so maybe that's why. Janice says it's about time all of this stopped. If a Christian preacher wants to preach the Bible, he or she has every right to do so. And if he or she cannot, then no other religions, all or nothing. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, so people are saying it's Android users that have seen this sort of government ID that's popped up onto their phones. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'm interested to see, guys, whilst we're in the live chat, just I think we got nearly 2,000 people on here. People are saying that the government ID app has just appeared on their phone. Do let me know in the comments if you have had the ID pop up onto your phone or the app pop up onto your phone. I'm interested to see, and do specify whether you're with Android or Apple. I've got an iPhone, but I'm currently out of the country. I'm in Paris, so I haven't had anything appear on my phone as of yet. Yes, it has. See a lot of people saying yes, it has. Colin. Well, the thing is with Paris, not to make this about Paris, but just because we're on the conversation of Paris, you can see architecturally is a beautiful city. Once great city. I think a lot of European cities probably did model itself off of it. Kind of similar to London, similar to a lot of European cities, but you can really, I like French culture, actual French culture. I do like it, but again, as everything now in modern day Europe, you're seeing that declining culture, and there's one correlation there. And a lot of the places in Paris are actually no-go zones. Where I'm staying right now is really nice. It's in the 6th district. It's really, really nice. But that's just one small proportion of Paris. I've travelled around going to see different things, and the place is a shit pit. Barb's is a place you would want to see in Paris if you want to see what London's going to look like in probably about 5 years. Barb's. I come out of the train station there. I honestly thought I was in the midst of like an African city, Sierra Leone. I'm not just talking about the demographic, but I'm just talking about the sort of culture in and around this place called Barb's in Paris. Shit pit, and it's actually near touristy places. That's what I'm saying. It's not far outside the city. It's actually in the middle of the city where tourists come and go to go see certain sites. And yeah, it's a scary place. Received email from government about petition. Seems digital ID will be enforced. Yes, I did see an update on that, by the way. Again, maybe I might do another live stream later for that, but I'll have a little look at it. I think they made a reply to it. They made a reply to the digital ID petition, actually, and this is what they said underneath it. So bearing in mind, you need 100,000 signatures to have a debate, and essentially what I've seen pop up underneath the thing, the government responded underneath the petition saying, we will introduce a digital ID within this parliament to help tackle illegal immigration, make accessing government services easier and enable wider efficiencies. We will consult on all details soon. So they did respond to the petition, and that's what they said. So if you go over to the petition website now, you'll see the government responded. Although we should be having a debate after 100,000 signatures regardless, so I'm not in for it. And Rupert Lowe said this morning, Labour has responded to the petition stating that a digital ID will be introduced within this parliament. A cross-party effort in Westminster to resist that is now an absolute necessity. I'm pleased to report even more signatures on our letter. We will fight in Parliament. So Rupert Lowe saying his thing there as well to try and fight against it. But guys, I'm interested to know your thoughts on everything. Tommy's words, Nigel's words, and of course, all things digital ID down there in the comment section below. Has the app appeared on your phone? Well, let me know in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Another big shout out to Debbie James, yet again, who gave away so many memberships to the British Stand subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you.